Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Um,
AOGGs.
Hi, yes, I'm glad to be returning to streaming after I was on vacation forever, and then I did one stream, and then I got COVID, and then I couldn't
Mm,
stream, but now we're back in business, baby.
yeah, the vid.
Yeah, the COVID, my second
Yeah.
time.
Oof.
Have either of you had it?
Yes. Twice. Well, three times, but the first time was like December 2019 when nobody knew about it yet. I
Oh,
suspect that's what
right.
it
You told me
was.
that.
Yeah. But I don't have any proof. I just think I did.
Right.
It's like literally everyone had the mysterious flu or whatever that was just worse. And then obviously 2020 hit and we're like,
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah, I
Have
got
you had
back.
COVID
Yeah, I got
external?
back in 2022, literally 2 weeks into my first tour back. So I'm like, wow. So I got this at the
Oh,
Oh,
airport on my way to tour. So I'm like,
oh,
no.
I was like,
being in an airport with COVID. Oh,
yeah. So I was like, well, at least I've gotten it out of the way.
ah, yeah, right. The vid will be back.
hmm Yeah, my first time was this time 2 years ago. October 2022 was my first time, and I got it from my aunt, and then I gave it to my parents, and then this time around, my parents gave it to me, so they got me back.
Revenge vid.
hmm Yes. So this evening, I want to discuss this article from the New York Times. Let me share the screen.
Mm,
Uh, Let me do this. How's the look
looks
for
good.
sizing? Cool. I cannot see the screen, so yeah, I found this article that made me sad. Just reading the title, teen girls reporting record levels of sadness. That seems heartbreaking to me. Um, so I wanted to talk about the stuff that the gals are going through these days.
Poor kids.
I know. So we can get started here, and please, anyone chime in at any time. Likewise to the chat. Hello. If you're new and lurking, we like new lurkers, so hi.
Yes, come out of lurking. Join the chat.
Yes. Uh, Also, I'm just gonna quickly send a message to Lily if she decides to join.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
great. She's a little younger than all of us, so she might have a good perspective.
okay. Well, I'll just message her. Anyway, okay. So to start off, let's talk about Maria's comment. Aren't teenage girls just always sad? I remember my teenage years, the 2010s, on Tumblr. The internet definitely doesn't help.
Yeah, Maria,
Yeah,
the internet's that's the thing though. Yeah. It just
yeah,
exacerbates and it's only gotten worse. Like the social media. I don't know what the article's going to say, but I've got my own
hmm
theories about it. But yeah.
yeah. Um, Existential Gamer, when were you a teenage girl?
Oh, from 1992
Okay,
to about 1999, I turned 20.
okay,
So yeah, we had AOL dial-up in the last half, I guess.
right.
But going into an AOL chat room and pretending to be a teenager from California is
Oh my God.
like
Yes.
that was the extent of our social media. So none of our embarrassing, cringy moments are immortalized online. Like
Right.
all the bullying we experienced was offline. It wasn't anything like it is. And then I think like even the kids back in the 2000s or the early 2010s didn't have, yes, the internet was more prevalent, but it just wasn't as, with TikTok nowadays and Instagram and everything is social media now.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the 2000s or early 2010s, you still had a robust blogosphere. You still had other things that people did online, but now it's like only social media.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Expired milk. When were you a teenage girl?
When you asked existentially, I was like, yo, I gotta get my calculator. I turned 13 in 2006.
I graduated high school that year.
OMG. So
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
so 2006 to like what, 2013. So a little later than you guys, but I remember how the internet used to be versus how it is now. And it was kind of interesting because I took up socializing on the internet a lot earlier than my friends because I was interested in nerd stuff that no one else at my school was into.
Right.
So I'd be searching out chat rooms and forums for Star Wars and anime and all that sort of stuff. And then
Yeah.
probably when my friends, maybe around 2008, 2009, started getting onto Facebook and stuff, or even a little bit before that with AIM.
AIM.
Like,
What was your AIM screen name?
the thing is, I never was really on it because I remember vividly this conversation I had with my friends. They were upset that I wasn't never on this AIM thing to talk to them at night. And I said, well, what do we have to talk about at night? They're like, just stuff. I said, well, why can't we wait till we get back to school the next morning?
See, that's how it used to be, as I shake my fist at the cloud.
My opinion was, what could there possibly happen between 6 p.m. on Monday and 7 a.m. on Tuesday that couldn't wait?
I have a similar story in that I was a teenager. I turned 13 in 2001, and I turned 20 in 2008. And I too also turned to the internet for like community because I was really into punk rock, and I went to a Catholic high school, and everyone was like, it was like very preppy, the popped collars, like the Hollister, Abercrombie era. So I turned to the internet for like-minded community as well. But I am also very grateful that I got out of all of that, but like the social media and stuff, or got out of high school before like social media really existed.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being a teenage girl today.
Yeah, I can't imagine it. Yeah, and like you guys, I also went on the internet really when in its infancy because I was also a giant geek, right? So I remember going to all those Angel Fire sites, and if you want to find like before fanfiction.net, right? Yeah, GeoCities. Like in order to get fan fiction, you had to actually search Google for it, or fan art, or like MP3 music from like my favorite video games, and it would take an hour to download. But yeah, I can't even imagine like what is it like to be on social media as a kid.
Devastating, I'm sure.
I do recall.
No, go for it.
I say like the only glimpse I got into this was my cousin. She has a girl, and I guess it was when the girl was in like 3rd or 4th grade. She says, "Oh yeah, she spends," and this was maybe 4 years ago. "Oh yeah, she spends most of her evening taking selfies because she needs to find the best one to post online, because if she doesn't post one online, she'll get made fun of. But if she posts one online that other people don't like, then she'll also get made fun of."
Oh my god.
What is this? She's in 4th grade.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's
awful.
So awful. Talk about why girls like have a problem with being perceived as girls these days, because if this is what you have to do, like it's relentless, and like they can't win no matter what they do, right?
Well, let's find out about these girls. So CDC finds adolescent girls reported high rates of sadness, suicidal thoughts, and sexual violence, as did teenagers who identified as gay or bisexual. This is from February of 2023, so it is a little older, but I also have an update at the end. So, nearly 3 in 5 teenage girls felt persistent sadness in 2021, double the rate of boys, and 1 in 3 girls seriously considered attempting suicide, according to data released on Monday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Woof.
Hmm.
Oh, let me hide this. The findings, based on surveys given to teenagers across the country, also showed high levels of violence, depression, and suicidal thoughts among lesbian, gay, and bisexual youth. More than 1 in 5 of these students reported attempting suicide in the year before. Lord, 1 in 5? That's 20%.
Yeah, that's just beyond normal teenage emo-ness,
Hmm,
for sure.
that seems really high. 1 in 5?
Yeah. I mean, I lived in the grunge era, and I don't even think that it was close to that bad when I was a kid at all.
Yeah, I was in the height of the literal actual emo kid timeline, and it was not like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rates of sadness are the highest reported in a decade, reflecting a long brewing national tragedy, only made worse by the isolation and stress of the pandemic. That does check out, yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping the article would acknowledge the fact that they studied them in 2021 and that
Right,
this
when they're all at home.
Right, right.
I think there's really no question what this data is telling us, said Dr. Kathleen Etier, head of the CDC's Adolescent and School Health Program. Young people are telling us that they are in crisis. The Youth Risk Behavior Survey was given to 17,000 adolescents at high schools across the United States in the fall of 2021. The survey is conducted every 2 years, and the rates of mental health problems have gone up with every report since 2011, Dr. Etier said. Woof.
Interesting. 2011 is when what we know as modern social media started taking hold.
Imagine that. Yeah, I guess
Ding, ding.
Twitter was 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah, that's probably
Short form,
Instagram.
yeah,
Same.
like short form video content
Yeah.
started being easier, and
Hmm.
because back in the day to actually upload videos, it was difficult. It took a lot of bandwidth to do that, and
Yeah.
nowadays you can just do it from your phone instantly.
Yeah. Crazy. There was a mental health crisis before the pandemic. It just didn't catch everyone's attention the way it does now, said Dr. Corey Green, the Director of Behavioral Health Education and Integration in Pediatrics at Weill Cornell Medicine in New York City. Still, Dr. Green said that she is seeing more of her young patients test positive on screenings for depression. The pandemic led to more social isolation, obviously, a risk factor for depression. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't also imagine being a teenager during the height of all of the lockdowns. Like, these kids
Yeah.
lost like years of their social development being at home on Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you had a teenager at that time, right?
I did. Yeah, he didn't even have a graduation,
Oh, man.
and it just felt very anticlimactic, and he had to like make an effort to meet people outside, and he's like,
Yeah,
I'm not going to let this, I have to do school online. He hated that.
no kidding.
Yeah, like he'd meet people out in the woods for hikes and stuff,
Right.
but because we're out in the open air, but you can't go anywhere really.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
She also pointed out that depression symptoms sometimes manifest differently in boys and girls, which might not be fully reflected in the survey. Although girls with depression often have persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness, which the survey asked about, boys with depression often exhibit irritability or aggression, she said. On a handful of topics, the survey results suggested teenagers were doing better than in previous years. They reported lower rates of illicit drug use and bullying at school, for example, and teenagers are having less sex with fewer sexual partners than in previous years. That's interesting to me. I wonder
I've heard
why.
that. I've heard that Gen Z isn't dating and they're not getting down like
Yeah,
previous generations did.
But also, just like other forms of social media, that's what dating has kind of turned to, right?
Yeah, that is true.
mm,
It's all about the apps now.
Yeah, and it seems to be pretty universally acknowledged that apps suck. So if apps suck, but that's the only way you know how to interact with people,
then you're
do that
not going to
kind of
do.
thing, then yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
About 57% of girls and 69% of gay, lesbian, or bisexual teenagers reported feeling sadness every day for at least 2 weeks during the previous year. God, sadness every day.
Wow.
14% of girls, up from 12% in 2011, said they had been forced to have sex at some point in their lives, as did 20% of gay, lesbian, or bisexual adolescents. I mean, let's call that what it is. That's rape.
Right.
Ugh.
Is there a buried lead here? Like, is there some kind of unprecedented amount of, are these kids assaulting each other, or are we seeing like a rise in abuse from older people on these kids?
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe because of the lockdown, you're trapped with abusive family members, or I don't know.
Right.
It just seems like a big spike in that.
It would be interesting for them to show a graph that maybe went from 1990 to present day, because I think comparing now to 2011 a lot, but I'm like, what was it like before? Was it going down?
Right.
Going up? Is the height now
Yeah.
the height's ever been ever, or stuff like that?
Or is the height the same and we know more about it now, which is also could be the case. Like, well, there's more awareness of it.
Right, and more willingness to speak about it.
Yeah, like in 1990, a teenage girl might not have even considered some of the things she went through as assault, but nowadays it's clearly understood, you know?
Good point. This is interesting. It's interesting as porn has become so much more accessible and sex topics in general have become less taboo. We're having less sex as a whole.
Well, yeah, because porn is gross. So if a kid, like, it's scary enough to grow up and try to navigate the adult intimate world with your peers. But like, imagine if porn is just your only guide and that's the only thing you've ever seen since you've been a younger kid, right? You don't want to do that. Like, I mean, I can't even imagine if I was like 14 and that's what I'd been seeing. And that's what I understood would happen to me if I was with a boy, right? So, or anybody really, like, it's all gross. So even if you're a lesbian or a gay person, it's not like that's really any better. It's all pornified. It's all commodified. And like Expired Milk said, the dating app. So you've got even more commodification and just, it's skeevy. It feels skeevy to me.
Not to mention the production of pornography is part of the dating world. Through being expected to take all these pictures of yourself and distribute them and whatever.
That is true. And like, you know, boys will ask you like, do you have an OnlyFans or whatever? So yeah, it's like,
that's like immediately the first question. And also, yeah, that's also another thing. Like,
oh, hey, Radical, your mic's a little muffled.
Oh no, is it any better?
Yeah, that's good. Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
It might be my stuffy nose cold. No, that's also another difference, like the accessibility of pornography. Like, you know, for you and myself, existential gamer, like there's always like that trope about like finding porn mags in the woods.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's like how accessible it was. You had to stumble across it somehow in the outdoors. But now it's like in everybody's hand at all times.
Yeah, that actually happened to me and my brother. We found a mag in the woods.
So when you said that, I just imagined Bilbo Baggins finding the Ring of Power in the lake.
Precious.
Right, but they kind of word it like that though. It's like, why is this even out here? There's nothing bad for this. And it was all pornography is you know, the subjugation of women, but the tone of it has totally changed too.
Yeah, there's like it's all exploitative, but there's a massive difference between like freaking Playboy bunny ears photo shoot.
Right. Because even the mag we found was just like naked ladies. Like it wasn't even any acts being done. It was just
exactly.
Ladies.
From then to now, the difference is like astronomical. Now it's like brutalistic, horrifying. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah. All right. When we're looking at violent or experiences of violence, girls are experiencing almost every type of violence more than boys, said Dr. Etier of the CDC researchers. Oh, researchers should be studying not only the increase in reports of violence, she said, but its causes. We need to talk about what's happening with teenage boys that might be leading them to perpetrate sexual violence.
Porn.
Literally. The researchers also analyzed the data by race and ethnicity, finding that Black and Hispanic students were more likely to report skipping school because of concerns about violence. White students, however, were more likely to report experiencing sexual violence. The increase in sadness and hopelessness was reported across all racial groups over the last decade. Though Black students were less likely to report these negative feelings than other groups, they were more likely to report suicide attempts than white, Asian, or Hispanic adolescents.
Oh, that is interesting.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe it's a cultural
Yeah,
thing. Like they don't
I
want to talk
mean,
about it. I
yeah,
don't know.
there
Sour
could be
milky.
that, and I think it would be similar with perhaps Asian Hispanic groups too,
Mm,
but like
yeah.
in a lot of Black spaces, depression isn't a thing.
Right,
It's like it is a thing, but they're pretending it's not a thing. It's like, oh,
right.
like
Yeah.
get it
Yeah,
together.
I have seen like countless TikToks of like people like who do like little skits on TikTok about being raised by first generation immigrant parents, right?
Yep. Yep.
And it's all a whole bunch of like them like clowning their kids for being depressed, and they're like, that doesn't exist. Like in my country, we had a job, not depression. Like like
Yeah.
that kind of shit. So
Yeah.
I can see the cultural difference for sure. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. The 2021 survey asked about students' sexual orientation, but did not ask about their gender identity. So
Good.
data on the risk factors for transgender students is not available.
Good. They didn't
Oh no,
purposely
they've been
muddy the waters.
erased. They've been erased from the data.
No, that would have made the study murkier.
Yeah, definitely.
Because no.
Okay. Dr. Victor Furnari, the Vice Chair of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry for Northwell Health, New York's largest health system, noted that the drop in teen well-being coincided with the rise of smartphones. Although the technology's full impact on adolescents' mental health is still unknown, he said there is no question of an association between the use of social media and the dramatic increase in suicidal behavior and depressive mood.
Yeah.
Man,
I
what
can
are we
see that.
doing to ourselves?
Yeah. Although I hate the my generation and older, they're always like, oh, it's the smartphones. Actually, it's the culture, the entire culture. I mean, the smartphone's just the vehicle to get it to your eyeballs, right?
Right. Yeah.
The whole social media culture is toxic for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you didn't give them a smartphone, they couldn't, but they could access it in other ways. I don't know.
Yeah. I think maybe with the smartphones, I guess you add in that aspect of all the stuff being at your fingertips all the time. Because
Yeah.
Right.
when I was in college, I didn't have a smartphone when I went to college, but when
I
I
did not
went,
get. Oh, go
but
ahead.
like when I went to get an internship, I got an internship offer, but it was contingent on me procuring a smartphone because they said
Oh,
we need
Yeah.
to be able to reach you all the time. You need to have your email all the time, or else it's not going to.
Right. Right. I don't know. I'm not like a. I don't know. I'm a parent, right? So it's like
yeah.
they have to know how to use it, but unfettered access isn't good either. Like I wouldn't want
Right.
to be like total Luddite and not give any kid a smartphone until they're in their 20s, because then, like you said, expired milk, like when they grow up, they're going to be expected to know how to use them and have one, right? So, but on the
Yeah.
other hand, it's like if they're allowed to be in their bedrooms at like 11 p.m. doing nothing but doom scrolling on TikTok, like that's not
Yeah.
good.
Bad times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not get my first smartphone until I was 23. And I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 20. So I'm grateful for that at least.
Yeah, I was close to 30 when I got my first iPhone.
Mm.
I had like dumb phones, but I didn't even get my first dumb phone until I was in probably my mid 20s, I would
Mm.
say. Yeah.
So
But that's
kids
just me
are
being old. It's not my parents being like anti-women. It's just because I'm old.
no. Kids are now vulnerable to cyberbullying bullying and critical comments like, I hate you, nobody likes you, he said. It's like harpoons to their heart every time. More girls than boys reported being cyberbullied, according to it's around 1 in 5, so 20% of girls said that they had been the target of electronic bullying, almost double the 11% of boys. Whoa.
Yeah.
Dr. Fernari added that the number of adolescents coming to the emergency room at Long Island Jewish Medical Center in Newhart Park, where he practices, for suicidal thoughts or attempts has increased dramatically in recent decades. In 1982, there were 250 emergency room visits by suicidal adolescents. By 2010, the number had increased to 3,000. By 2022, it was 8,000.
Wow.
Wow. That's
And these are only the ones that went to the emergency room, right?
that's an average of 22 a day.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Whereas the 250 in 1982 was like 0.6 a day.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, Maria, for sure. Like,
kids need to learn to differentiate. Yeah.
Well, but also imagine though that you're unpopular in school, right? And you get told nobody likes you to your
Right.
face. And then you go online and those kids from your school are also online and they're also
Right.
like you can't get away from it.
Right.
Like yeah, online isn't real, right? But when it's all your school friends you know in real life and they're all in the same social media and making stuff about you, you know,
Yep.
it hits different. Because
Oh.
I was not a popular kid, right? So if I had had that double whammy of going home and then also having it online or knowing that they made like chats or forums about me or whatever, that would be devastating.
Yeah. We don't have enough therapists to care for all these kids, Dr. Fernari said. The CDC's report also noted, however, that the number of adolescents who reported needing medical attention for a serious suicide attempt had been fairly low and stable, hovering around 2 or 3% since 2011. Lots of people think about taking their life. Most of them will not act on it, said Dr. Jill Harkavy-Friedman, Senior Vice President of Research of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. We don't want to panic people with this. We want people to start having these conversations, checking in, and then making a plan to help each other. The CDC survey follows another bleak report released by the agency last week showing that suicide rates were up among younger Americans and people of color after a 2-year decline. It's important to know that this is the context of the pandemic, though, too. So there's like would these results have been the same if there hadn't been a pandemic?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I hope they get into that. Because I'd hate to just be like, oh, it's just COVID, right?
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, Carla, it takes a level of backbone to insult, bully someone to their face, but not online. Yeah, so like maybe you have a core group of bullies in real life, but then like the whole school can anonymously participate.
Yeah, like DM you on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, right. And you don't know who they are. You know, there's so many ways to harass someone online. So yeah, and then you're going back to school the next day wondering who in the halls is in that chat or on that forum or whatever.
Right.
It's frightening. It's like, who can you even trust?
The CDC report stressed that healthy relationships at school can improve adolescents' mental health. Young people who feel connected in Young people who feel connected in middle school and high school 20 years later have better mental health, are less likely to be perpetrators or victims of violence, are less likely to use substances, and are less likely to attempt suicide, Dr. Etier said. So school connectedness is a very powerful protective factor.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
But just last month, so this article is from 2023, but just last month, I just noticed today, let me just get this up here. this was just last month. Sadness among teen girls may be improving, CDC finds.
Ooh.
Oh, good. A palate cleanser. Yay.
Yeah, this was posted in August. August
Yet
6th.
still a girl on the floor of a
I
gym.
I know.
Aw.
On her freaking smartphone.
Oh,
Whoa.
Honestly,
jeez.
same.
Where's that
Oh.
picture?
Oh.
I tried to
Super
zoom in really
big.
close
Oh, there she
so we could
is.
see her. On
I
her
thought she
freaking
was
phone.
just like laying there in despondency, but no, she's
Convalescing.
yeah.
Yeah, so the 2021 Center for Disease Control and Prevention, blah, 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 3 in 5 teenage girls reported feeling persistent sadness, the highest rate in a decade. But the newest iteration of the survey, distributed in 2023 to more than 20,000 high school students, the previous one was 17,000, suggests that some of the despair seen at the height of the pandemic may be lessening.
Yeah, no shit.
So 53% reported extreme depression this time, down from 57% in 2021. Suicide risk among girls stayed roughly the same as last survey, but Black students who reported troubling increases in suicide attempts in 2021 reported significantly fewer in 2023. That's good.
Yeah.
The number of teens reporting persistent sadness in 2023 remained higher than at any point in the last decade aside from 2021. Around 65% of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender high school students reported persistent hopelessness, compared with 31% of their cisgender or heterosexual peers.
We have transgender mentioned this one. Did they say that?
Just a minute, I need a coughing break.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like last time they didn't test for
For
gender
transness.
feelings, but
Yeah.
now
Test
it's
for
here. Test for gender
Yeah.
feelings.
We're gonna take your blood, test for gender midichlorians.
So yeah, it says there's still a crisis in mental health, but we're also seeing some really important glimmers of hope. Is there anything super interesting in here? Pediatric emergency visits has plateaued, a promising change, so that's good.
Yeah.
Experiences of violence have steadily increased over the last decade. 2 in 10 female students. So why not just say 1 in 5? What the heck?
Yeah, that's strange wording. Are they trying to make it sound less?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, only 2 in 10.
Yeah.
But that's still
That's 1 in 5 still.
right. Still 20%. So
Yeah. So 20% reported experiencing sexual violence, and more than 1 in 10 reported being assaulted.
yeah.
16% of girls reported not attending school in the previous 30 days because of fears of violence. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Violence? I can't even think of like any violence at school. I mean, there was the odd like fight, but like not like that was just teenage boys being stupid. Not like targeted violence.
Yeah, I mean, I got shoved a lot and tripped
Oh,
in school.
okay.
Like, the violence wasn't like nobody fist fought me or whatever, but yeah,
Right.
there was some physical violence, but
Okay.
even
Yeah.
looking back, it wasn't really like those are the examples that come to my mind in the forefront. It was
Yeah.
mostly the social and emotional stuff.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you know, occasionally when you're the unpopular geek, you walk down the hall and all of a sudden you feel someone shove you to the ground from behind. It's always a good.
Oh
time.
my God. That's
Yeah,
horrible.
I know. School
That
sucks.
happens in the movies too.
Aw.
One girl even kicked me into my locker one time.
Oh my God.
Like, she didn't shove me in the locker, but like
Yeah.
she kicked me and I ended up falling like into the door.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awful.
I know, but it does happen. I've also had girls like threaten to meet me after school and beat me up, but
Right.
that didn't actually ever go down. But
Yeah.
the shoving, the tripping, all that, throwing things at you, which some people would classify as physical violence.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think about it in that term, like shoving and stuff, but when you say that, yeah, I guess that is physical violence.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if nowadays things seem to have gotten scarier. I don't know if you guys ever like go on the teachers forums or teacher subreddits.
Oh yeah, all the time, and it's just
Yeah,
like a
me
never-ending
too.
stream of like I don't
It's
know what
like
to do anymore. I'm at my
fucking
wits.
post-apocalyptic Lord of
Yes,
Flies shit.
feral children.
Yeah, like throwing furniture and literally assault. Like, yeah, I would get shoved and stuff, but to actually think about touching a teacher was unheard of
Oh
in the
yeah,
90s. Like, you just did not do that.
yeah. No, I was like, I was scared of my teachers. Not that they
Yeah,
were mean or scary, but I had a healthy,
right.
fearful respect for teachers, and
Yeah,
also my parents. Like, I did not want to ever get in trouble with my teachers because if they told my parents, that would be scary. But
right. Well,
kids
back
don't have that
then,
today.
no, but back then, parents and teachers were on the same side, and nowadays
Oh yeah,
it's like my
and
precious
now
Braden wouldn't do
exactly.
anything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Maria, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm actually over it, but thanks.
Uh, okay.
I'm so old that it's such ancient history. It's fine.
Mm.
Like in my city, like even adults that don't work in the schools kind of habitually don't walk around high schools when
Yeah,
school
are
lets
scared
out.
of teenagers.
Yeah, because they'll like really mess you up.
Well, they can't. They're unable to do literally anything. They can't even expel these kids
Right.
because I guess the administration never has their back. The parents basically run it, and they don't give a shit. So their kids just do whatever they want.
Yeah. Actually, sidebar a little bit. In my province in Alberta, our premier, who's like an American governor, um, she's an evil nightmare, extremely. She's like a Canadian MAGA, but
Oh,
like she's
how does that
evil.
happen? Oh my
She
god!
is she was on literally the news this week talking about mind controlling chemtrails.
Oh, not
What?
the chemtrails. Oh my
Yes.
god.
So that's who we're dealing with. But
Oh,
she did recently introduce some legislation which took effect this school year, um, banning cell phones from schools. Students are not allowed to have their cell phones in school. They must be in their locker,
yeah. I mean, I think that should
Oh.
have been implemented the whole time.
right?
Like,
Apparently it wasn't, but and so I've seen a lot of teachers talking about how actually it's going amazingly in the classroom.
wow, imagine that. Crazy,
Yeah, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So alcohol and drug use has also continued to decline. That's cool.
Yeah. Gen Z is
22.
very anti partying, I've noticed.
Yeah.
As a former 90s teen, we definitely had our share.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I
yeah.
had my share of house parties. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, I know, right?
Yeah, I feel like maybe younger people drink less, but perhaps smoke more. Well, it's about to mention smoking. Let's see.
Yeah, so it says
No, I don't
seven,
know. They vape, but they
Yeah,
don't smoke.
yeah.
yeah. 22% of teens reported drinking in 2023 versus 35% in 2013. 17% said they smoked marijuana compared to 23% in the decade prior.
Ooh, never mind.
That still seems
Well,
so
it's gone
low
down.
for teens, though. Man.
Oh, this is not, well, it's somewhat related. My secret awful hobby is watching police body cam videos on
Oh
YouTube.
yeah.
And last night I watched one of a high school student being arrested for doing drugs in the bathroom. But she's of age. She's actually 19 going on 20 in high school. And the
Ew.
cop is like talking to her and she's like he's told her like I am going to be taking you to be processed in jail today. And she's like all because somebody reported me. And he was like, yeah, you have
Yeah.
illegal substances in your possession. And she said, yeah, but like so do other kids.
Oh my God. Yeah, but they didn't get caught, so
Right. I was
sucks for you.
dying.
Wow.
And then the cop was like, just reminding her, well, this is what's going to happen, and I will be arresting you today. And she said, but I don't want to be arrested.
Oh my God.
I was dying. I was like, that is not. how this works, honey.
I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket in case I ever get
Like, I
arrested.
don't want it. You're never gonna get arrested.
And it was
Experiment.
like in that tone, but I don't want to be arrested. Like, oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'll let you go right away. Expired milk. If I
Oh,
ever see your name like on a police report, I will assume that you tried to break into a vault of some kind.
Oh yes, it's the heist of the century.
Yeah, I'm not going to assume it was drugs or alcohol. I'm going to assume like, oh, she went for the big one. She flew too close to the sun.
Mm-hmm.
big time. Oh, it was great. Okay, let's see what else. In 2023, 32% of high schoolers reported experiencing racism in school. Asian students reported the highest rate at 57%. What the fuck?
Yeah, that does not surprise me at all. With like the rise of conservatism and Trump and stuff, like I feel like race relations and like LGBT relations have gone down.
Oh yeah, they're on like at an all-time low. I mean, not
Yeah,
as compared to extremely historically, but in the
right.
modern era,
In the modern era, I mean, for what you might
the
say,
last 30 years.
yeah, like the 90s and 2000s, like yeah, we said bad words, I guess,
Yeah.
but like the rate of bashing, like that kind of stuff just didn't really exist. It was like, I don't know. It just wasn't like this. It didn't have the same vitriol behind it.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, as in we just said, COVID, another correlation for.
Yeah, but like
Insane.
that's so ridiculous. What? How is it? How is the Asian American kid going to school with you to blame for COVID? Like it's fucking
Right.
brainworms. Like what? What?
It's not supposed to make any sense.
No.
Right. Big time. Among Black students, 46% reported racism at school and 23% reported being unfairly disciplined. Ugh, that's really awful to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you never know which teachers are like MAGA people or whatever.
Right. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah. And there's even some of that stuff coming from the left these days. Sadly. Like, yeah. I mean, look at the current, like, comparing, like, oh, if Black women are women, then.
Oh, I know. Oh my God.
Right?
It's so gross.
That's so racist without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When I see people say that shit, I'm like, can you please just read what you said again and think about that? Like, what are you saying?
Exactly. Like, but that's the kind of stuff that just flies under the radar, you know? And I've also noticed a lot of like, what's it called? When it's like the bigotry of low expectations.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like a lot of liberal things I read online, it's like, well, we can't expect them to do, you know, it's like, what? Okay, Mr. White Savior, go off, I guess. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, not just about, but about any minority, really, anything like that. It's like, oh, we just can't expect them to do anything.
Yeah. And on the other side of that coin too, there's also like the people who they think they're not racist, but they have like the whole like model minority way of thinking. Like,
oh yeah, like you're one of the good ones. Like, what does that mean? Oh my God.
Gross.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. So let's see social media here. More than 3/4 of students reported using social media several times a day, with roughly 82% of girls reporting frequent social media use compared with 73% of boys. Interesting.
I hope that they count things like Reddit as social media, because Reddit likes to pretend it's not.
Or like freaking Andrew Tate's podcast or whatever the fuck. Like,
yeah, podcasts, you know, because a lot of those things
sections.
have Discords, comment sections. So my knee-jerk thought is like, I hope they're not only associating what girls do with social media.
Right, like
and
Instagram and TikTok.
Right, and like giving boys a pass. It's like, oh, I'm not on social media. I'm just a member of 3 Andrew Tate Discord servers, and I go
Right.
on
Or
every day.
even like I don't know anything about gaming, but like the way like
Oh
boys
yeah,
like game with their headsets and they're talking to people,
right?
like
Yeah,
that should also be considered under this umbrella of social media.
yeah. How is it
Yeah.
not? You're just verbally talking instead of typing into a chat or whatever.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, for real
so
irradiated women, definitely,
hmm,
which are boy dominated still.
uh-huh. So the US Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, pushed for warning labels on social media platforms about potential harm to young people's mental health. Interesting. But Dr. Etier cautioned against putting too much blame on social media. We know that there are some people in some case, there's some difficult and in some. Can I read? We know that there are some difficult and in some cases dangerous exposures that young people have on social media, Dr. Etier said. The CDC plans to carry out a more thorough analysis of the survey data on social media and mental health, she added, but this data that we're presenting today doesn't point to it being the whole story.
And they leave you on a cliffhanger.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hi, Nix. Hello, fax machine. Hello, Nix.
Hey, I love fax machine's name and
I
profile
know, it's so
picture.
good.
It's so funny. Every time I see it, it gives me a chuckle.
Pardon me. This darn cough.
Well, it's interesting that obviously this was the 2023 study. So the main difference between this and 21 would be, I guess, the COVID high school group is
Mhm.
now
Right.
moved on to college.
Yeah. Yeah, and college lends itself to more in the real world reactions, so they might have been able to get out of that funk, the isolation funk.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then of course just age, like everybody said at the beginning in the chat. Yeah, being a teenager is really hard and it's emotionally tumultuous. Everybody's sad, everybody's angry.
Yes. Whoops. Sorry.
So I hear commotion.
Yeah, I have a cup of ice and I'm trying to pour it into
Oh,
my
that's
water
what
bottle.
that is.
So I'm gonna mute while I do that. Sorry.
No, I was just like, what is that? It sounds like something crackling, but it's ice.
Yeah, it was the plastic lid off the plastic cup kind of thing.
Ooh.
I got a strawberry lemonade like in a from a gas station or whatever afterward in a cup, and I'm just trying to get the ice out now. Very exciting things going on over here at RR's house.
Hey, I had a very exciting last week. I went
Oh
to
yeah,
Utah.
you want to tell us about Utah?
Dude, the food
Also,
there.
you're looking a little tan.
Yeah, I got some sun.
I can tell. It's very cute.
Yep. Thank you. That was my fault. I was dumb because okay, so the whole thing is I'm going to Utah with my mom. She's got some medical stuff to take care of out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. We're going to be staying in a hotel right next to the clinic, and it's for like 10 or 11 days. But I did not realize just how much walking around I would have to do. The place is so big, like the spread outness of it. Me, I'm from the Northeast. I'm from New England. Everything is smaller and like,
Compact.
yeah,
Not out here, wide open spaces.
I know. And it's just something I didn't think about. So I didn't bring sunscreen. I know Lily would probably smack my hand for that. But I did not honestly think that I would be out like that in the sun.
Right.
Because you have to walk everywhere. Luckily, it's very pedestrian friendly. There's like big crosswalks and public transportation. There's trains everywhere.
Oh, good.
It's great, but just the quality of the sun, because it's like a desert type of
it's a different sun.
right? Yeah, so like you're in between these huge mountains, but the land is flat and there's like scrub brush and cacti and yucca plants and stuff. And my northeastern ass was not used to it. So I was like, but after a couple of days, I'm like, man, I feel like I got a sunburn. So I ended up having to go to the store and get sunscreen. And then but the damage was already done.
But then it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty sunburned on my nose and my chest, and I learned my lesson. I was like, man, the sun's just really relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we didn't have a car. Like, we didn't rent a car because everything was technically within walking distance. But while you're walking, you're getting the sun just in your face, beating down upon you.
Did you look at like how many steps you did a day?
My mom has a Apple Watch thing. And we did like 10,000 steps every day, at least. Nice. I know that's like the bare minimum, but even to just go to the store, and the food there is really good. So they have a place called Culver's, and they have like a frozen custard. And yeah, my mom and I each got a pint one night, and we ate the whole thing.
Nice.
I know. Yeah.
That's awesome.
She was like, sorry, what?
No, I was just going to say, what was the best part or the best food, or what was the best?
Oh, okay. Well, so they had this amazing Indian restaurant. So good. My mom loves Indian food, and I do too. Yeah, it's so good. I think I chatted with you about that because that was the night we went for Indian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we ended up having it at the same time, and I thought that was like, oh, sweet. Yeah, so that was really good. But I really liked the sushi restaurant. They had this really amazing little hole-in-the-wall sushi restaurant. But my mom doesn't really do sushi, but she was a really good sport. So.
Oh, good. I love sushi.
Me too. I had this yellowtail tuna with like jalapeno on it and like a little bit of sauce, and it was on this beautiful plate. And then, I love unagi rolls, the eel rolls. Yes. Those are my favorite. So I got those, and I got some egg for my mom because she doesn't do the raw fish, but she's like, well, what do they have other than that? I'm like, well, California rolls, you can get avocado rolls, there's egg. So yeah, we got miso soup. It was great. I got some sake. My mom doesn't drink, but
I love miso soup.
Me too. It's really good too. Sometimes you get it and it's bland.
Yes. It can be hit or miss, but sometimes when it hits, ooh.
Yeah, and it did hit. It was really good. So
yeah, there's a Japanese restaurant in my city. It's like really popular, really fucking good.
Oh,
and my sister used to work there. She was a teenager. Like, she was a hostess, and then eventually she was a server. But they make all of their waitresses wear like Japanese kimonos.
Oh, cool! What?
Yeah, and it was like always such a big day when you were a hostess and you got bumped up to being the server and you got the full kimono. Like, it was a big day. Yeah. But this one time, a guy at the restaurant told her that her being white was really ruining his experience at the restaurant.
Oh my God! See, this is exactly what I mean about weird liberals or progressives being weirdly weird about that kind of thing. Like, what?
I know, so weird. And there was women of all like ethnicities that worked there, but like, yeah, he just was like, you being white is really ruining this experience.
It's like, okay, go to Japan.
Right? Like, literally, what's stopping you, sir? Go.
Right. Also, my first thought is that this middle-aged dude has some kind of Asian waitress or something, and you're ruining his.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's my first thought, but I'm jaded. I'm like, oh yeah, sir, you don't like the fact that she doesn't conform to your fantasies?
Oh, I know.
Interesting.
I actually had sushi from there last week.
Irradiated woman. I'm sorry. I love that quote.
Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
Oh my gosh, tomorrow's October 3rd.
Oh, tomorrow's October 3rd. It's Mean Girls Day tomorrow.
Oh my God. I can't even believe it's already October. What?
When did that happen?
I don't know. It seems like just yesterday we had Christmas, so now it's happening again.
No.
I don't like it. Yeah, we're
Yes,
live
Linda, we are live. This is Real Us live right now.
as we speak. But yeah, the Japanese restaurant was amazing. I want to go to another one. We've got a local one here that has pretty good sushi, but that experience was really cool.
Good.
Other than that, we went on a trail hike. Like, it was really chill though. Yeah, but it was like it was
A
funny.
trail walk?
Yeah, like a walk. So I don't want you guys, nobody get any delusions that I'm like hiking up a mountain or anything,
Me neither, don't
all badass or no, nothing like that happened. It was very tame, but it was different because like there's no trees really. It's not like where I come from where there's a lot of foresty trees and evergreens and stuff. No, it's very flat. It's very open. The path is paved. There's a lot of bikers and families walking. And one part took us past the industrial zone, like with big factories. And my mom was like, how scenic.
How scenic.
But yeah, it was good. We ended up coming out of the trail, like behind our favorite coffee shop there. They had a really good coffee shop there. So we're like, hey, you want to call this a hike and go get some lattes? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
Expired Milk, how's tour going?
Oh, it goes.
It goes.
Wrangling drunks out of the forest.
Yeah.
Just another day.
I fired a guy last week.
No. Did you tell the story? If you did, I totally spaced it. Tell it again.
Maybe. Yeah. For intoxication during work hours.
During work hours?
Yeah.
I don't think you actually told the story.
Spill
the tea.
But the thing is, he actually disappeared before I could fire him.
Oh, like he knew?
Yeah, he went totally AWOL. His stuff was gone from his dressing room. It was gone from the bus. Yeah. He had checked himself out of the hotel, so he could be anywhere.
So he was pulling a "you can't fire me, I quit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to fire another guy next week.
Why?
What's this one doing?
This is the boy who has his quote uncontrollable anger issues unquote.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
But after we struck the fear of God into him yesterday, he somehow made a total 180.
Imagine that. He can control it.
Yeah,
weird,
I said,
right?
oh, okay. So we can behave ourselves. Noted.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been rocking and rolling. The shows are happening. Sometimes barely, but they do happen. We've got to do some fun stuff. We've managed to avoid all the storm chaos that just happened by just care.
Awful.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, my dad lives down in that area, and thankfully.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm actually going to visit him, not this weekend, but next weekend in South Carolina. So far, no news. He's doing good. Everything's fine. He's the type that would tell you if his house was like carried away on a wave or whatever.
Oh my god.
So yeah. But I've seen videos online.
Yes.
This one that is in a college dorm, and this dude is like sitting on a chair, and his legs are in the water, and he's just like smoking a cigarette while his whole dorm is flooding. And it's like, yeah, just another day at the university down in I don't remember the state, but one of the ones hit by the storm. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I saw one TikTok of a woman and her husband, like they have like a ranch style house. And so she was just like showing how they put like everything up on top of their kitchen table and like moved what they could onto a moving truck. And then the next video was like their return to home to see the water damage. And it was crazy. Like the water line in their house was like 3.5 feet.
Water damage is so impossible to fix.
Oh yeah.
You're never ever gonna get that all the way out. Like,
no.
That's awful. I saw a really sad one of like a couple of grandparents that were on the roof of their house with their
Oh my God.
grandchild.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no. I'm gonna cry.
I know. It was really sad. Like these old people had their little grandchild on the roof and they were like waiting for someone to come get them. It was really sad.
Oh my God. That's so horrifying.
Yeah. And like, oh, can't even imagine. And then like
Yeah.
the parent, right, who's probably the grandparent's child, right, is
Mhm.
obviously not there, so they're probably stranded somewhere else.
Oh, that's so awful.
Yeah. And then imagine like knowing that your parents are watching your kid, but then that happens and you can't contact them and like you have no idea what's going on and like they don't know what's going on with you.
No, that's scary.
Yeah. At least they were safe though
Yeah.
for the moment, but yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I haven't been able to look into it too much, but I just keep hearing about places where it's really bad. And
Mhm.
Florida is like we're kind of used to Florida being Florida, but then it's like, oh, Asheville, North Carolina,
Yeah, North Carolina
It's
and
North
like
is like
Carolina.
decimated.
Eastern Kentucky. I'm like, how did this even like? What happened? So I'm gonna try to maybe look into what exactly this storm was. I think maybe in one place a dam broke that happened to coincide with the storm or something. So
Ugh,
yeah.
it's awful.
Yeah, I think that college student was from North Carolina. Now that you say that.
Mm. Yeah, I saw lots of like pictures and videos and stuff of like entire like highways are just like gone, which is so scary because then you can't get in or out. You can't get supplies in or out. Like,
Yeah. Oh.
yeah, very scary. Ugh, very scary. Any plans for the weekend?
More shows.
Oh,
But my parents bought their tickets for next year's Singapore Grand Prix.
Singapore?
Yes, they're really branching out now.
Why
Wow.
Singapore?
I think they want to experience the night race, and then they
I
had.
mean, good for them. It's a cool track, and especially at night it's cool, but it's like hot and gross.
Yeah, I told them it's gonna be super hot, and they're gonna make a trip out of it. They're gonna go to Thailand as well,
Oh,
and
cool.
some other
Oh,
places.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my mom's attempt, as I said, bringing my dad to places that aren't America so that he can see that other places are also okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I love when like middle-aged or older people suddenly get a wild hair across their ass to be like, "Oh, my kids are grown. I'm gonna go to Thailand," you know,
Exactly.
or I'm gonna go on all these cruises, and I don't know. I just think it's really cute. It's like, yeah, you could go explore the world. Do
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Yeah.
still rolling from him coming back from his first cruise to like
How did
Panama.
I know they went on a cruise? Yeah.
Yeah, it started with the cruise to I forget all the places it went, but Panama was
Baby
one of
steps.
them because
That's
ever
so
since my
cute.
dad has bought like 10 textbooks on the Panama Canal, he comes back.
That's an extremely dad thing to do on vacation.
Yeah, and
Just
he's
come
like, he
back
comes
and I
back.
must have everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, how's the cruise? He's like, yeah, we got to like whatever country and they had Wi-Fi and
Oh,
banks and like they were speaking Spanish, but it wasn't that bad. I'm like, really?
But it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So now he's gonna go to Thailand. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go.
oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's good.
They'll
Aw.
also have Wi-Fi. I'm sure he'll be pleased to discover.
It's a whole new world
Yeah.
for dad expired milk.
Yeah. It's all right. Just get some good food, some good drink. You'll be all right.
That's all you need.
Yeah. See some sights. It'll be good.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
I'm
you
doing-
can take me places. I was like, I want them to take me to the Star Wars convention in Japan, but
Ooh.
Hey, maybe you can work up to that though. Sounds like there might be, especially if you sell it to them.
yeah,
Like, hey, I'll go to the convention. You guys can just go explore, I don't know where it is, Tokyo, Kyoto, I don't know.
Yeah, but look, there's a spa, there's a hot spring. You can just spend the
Right,
weekend at.
onsen.
Yeah, you know what? You won't even see me until the last day. I'll come back
Yeah.
to the hotel, and I'll do the whole because if they think you want to take them to the convention, they're probably not going to want to go, right?
Yeah.
But if it's a trip for them and you happen to be there too, go to the convention. Yeah.
We'll be
Just
like, the three of us can team up so we can occupy one section of row on the plane so that we all know each other.
Perfect.
Yeah,
And
you
then
could
once
do
we
that.
get there, we can disperse.
Yeah, maybe you have dinner the first day and then the last day. Get together for dinner and then that's it. You'll be happy. They'll be happy.
Yep.
Too good.
Well, my plans for the weekend are to do absolutely jack shit.
Nice.
I have been doing shit the past 10 days and I don't want to do anything. And then the following weekend, I go see my dad. That's just a long weekend though, but I still have to fly. So yeah, I think I'll pick up my dry cleaning on Saturday. But other than that, I'm not doing anything.
Nice. I'm not doing anything either because I did a whole lot of things on vacation and then I came home and I got promptly sick with COVID.
Oh,
And I was house sitting the entire time I had COVID.
that's right. The kitty, right?
Yeah, the kitties. But it was fine. And then yeah, I'm home now for until the 10th. So I'm doing nothing also. And then on the 10th, I start like a 2-week sit, which will be nice because it's over Thanksgiving in Canada, which means holiday pay.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I always forget you guys have Thanksgiving a month earlier than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best. I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I feel like we might have talked about this a long time ago, but what is the Thanksgiving story for Canada? Because it's funny we have two holidays named the same thing, but they're at different.
Yeah. It was more of like in the States it's like the Pilgrims and the Natives like shared the bunch,
Yeah, we
right?
had dinner once.
Yeah.
Right,
We're
okay,
friends now. Okay. That's the story we're told. Obviously didn't happen like that,
Yeah.
but
yeah. So I don't really know like if we actually have that much of a story. Some people say it's like marking the successful passage to the new world.
you're muffled again. What was that last thing you said? It's marking the what?
A successful passage from Europe to the New World, kind
Oh,
of thing. So yeah, just kind of being thankful for making it, but nobody really knows. Like that's kind of like
nobody knows.
Yeah, there's not really a real rhyme or reason to it. Some say that it's because of this or whatever. Hi, enlightened female. But we do all the same shit that you guys do: football and turkey and stuffing and.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like no different. It's just a different time of. But I do think Americans take their Thanksgiving way more seriously than we do. Like it is like a big holiday there, right?
Yeah. All the airports get crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say it depends on the family because not every family thinks it's that big of a deal.
True.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like I see like in movies and shows, it's all about like going home for Thanksgiving, or even on social media, I see lots of students like going home for Thanksgiving, and it's like here you would never ever go home for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, I guess in that way, it's more
That is
serious.
not a thing. Like
because it's not as big as Christmas for my family, but we do try to get together at least with one side of the family or whatever for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, here it's like we get the day off, and here it's on a Monday.
Oh.
So it's always the second Monday of October.
Man, you guys get the 3-day weekend. Ours is on a Thursday, and not every place of work has the Friday off too. So
That's crazy. Yeah, it's always a 3-day weekend because it's always the second Monday of October.
Oh yes, so does Canada have a Black Tuesday?
ooh.
No, we have Boxing Day,
Oh, that's
which
right.
is
Boxing Day.
December 26th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's our Black Friday.
Wait, but that's after all the presents are bought. Is that like
That is true. How do you
Yeah,
take advantage of the great deals?
well, I don't know, you treat yourself.
Have you bought presents for all of your insufferable relatives? Why not treat yourself with our sales?
Exactly. That's when I do all my good shopping is on Boxing Day.
Buy presents for the whole next year.
Yeah.
Every year I say to myself, I'm going to be the kind of person that goes shopping early, and then it never happens.
Oh,
Never.
yeah, I don't leave my house on Boxing Day. It's all
Yeah.
online. But
Yeah, I mean, true. But even online, it's like it'll be August, right? And I'll be like, I really should probably start Christmas shopping because it's going to be here before you know it. But then I never do because there's always like it's like, yeah, it's August now, but will they need this thing by December? Will this be the gift that I feel like they should get in December? It's only August.
Right.
But then I know some relatives of mine, they go shopping all throughout the year and they like hoard Christmas presents, which is probably the
Yeah.
smartest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
My mom has already said what she's getting my sister and I for Christmas. So she's into taking all of these DNA-based tests. So
Oh, me too.
Oh, I want to take a 23andMe. So
I've
bad.
done 23andMe and Ancestry.
yeah, so
Sorry,
she
She's
wants to
gifting
take
that
one
to-
of those.
Man, that would be the best Christmas gift in the whole world.
That's what I got for Christmas from my sister.
Dude.
Yeah,
those
but that's
things are like
not. She
200
also
plus
wants
bucks.
us. She also wants us to take. I forget what she called it. I call it the poop test because apparently you take, I don't know, some sample of your poop and it goes to a lab and then it tells you like your whole health profile and
Yeah.
what your diet should be to fix whatever problems you have.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
so she took
No.
it and she's like,
That's too
yeah,
far.
from my poop test, I learned that I shouldn't eat tomatoes. I'm like, okay, great.
Wow, no. I'm not a fan of the poop test.
Yeah, so I was like, how much poop? That'd be so gross.
Yeah, do you guys do the thing where if Xmas is and Boxing Day falls on a weekend, you get the next business day off as a public holiday? Yes, we do.
Yeah, in America, fax machine, it depends on what the employer wants to do.
Uh,
So some of them do, some of them don't. They're like,
yeah,
no,
I
you're gonna
get the
be in
Monday
there.
off in lieu.
Yeah, that's nice. Like in some places, they give you Christmas Eve off, or it's a half day, and other
Yeah,
places, no.
But yeah, if Christmas and New Year's are on a Wednesday, it's just anarchy.
Yeah, that's the worst time. And then, of course, you have everybody taking their personal.
Christmas is on a Wednesday this year.
Oh my gosh, anarchy!
No, really?
Yes, I just looked.
It's happening again.
Oh, fuck me, damn it! That sucks. That really sucks. That's the worst. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, there we go. Pulled up my calendar and I was like, how do I get rid of this? Yeah, I've heard that the 23andMe sells your data, but yeah, I've also heard, like Radical said, that you have to opt into that because that's the main reason my brother doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, well, I told my mom, I was like, my mom did it and my dad did it. So I was like, well, why just combine your two results? That's my result. She's like, no, we have to know specifically. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's actually, you know what I learned? And I'm not a geneticist or anything, so take it with a grain of salt, but I learned that it's not like you inherit exactly 50% each time your parents have a child, right? So to sit like I could have more in common with my brother genetically or less than I think. It's not just 50-50 from each parent. Like some kids maybe have 70-30 split, some kids might have 50-50, some might have 60-40. Like I just thought that was fascinating.
True. And once my sister and I take it, the four of us can rank ourselves by percentage of blackness.
Yes, you could. And then just dunk on each other.
Yes. Yes, my dad is less than my mom by like 5%. She's like, I always knew it. I'm like, well, you can tell by looking at
Yeah, it's so neat. Even if you have the same mother and father, your siblings will have different percentages of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why people do say that I don't look like my brother, really.
Mm.
Even though,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My sister and I look literally nothing. Like, no one would ever assume that we were related.
Yeah. Yeah. I had people come up to me and be like, are you really his sister? Because you don't look a single thing like him. And yeah, it's true. I mean, maybe if you squint in some places, but yeah, no.
Yeah, not at all with me and my sister.
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting. But highly recommend. They're really fun.
Yeah, I want to do
DNA
it.
test will come back revealing that I am, in fact, extraterrestrial.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought, because I've watched so many like YouTube videos of like people like looking at their results, and like everyone has like pretty much all of the white people I've seen have had like 0.2% sub-Saharan Africa because we're all Africa, right?
Well, that's where we literally come from as a
Right.
as a species.
So when I got mine, I was like, okay, I wonder what the percentage is because everyone I've seen has had that. And mine is literally 100% European. Like,
Oh wow.
100%.
You
Jeez.
are
Not get whiter.
white.
White.
Whites.
Yes, I was dying. I was like, well, there you go.
Yeah. Yes, I always think fondly of this old lady that, for whatever reason, kept talking to me at this gala I was working. And she was very concentrated on the fact that her DNA test had her as like 0.002% sub-Saharan African. And she was like, I always knew it because of my nose
Oh
and
my
my
God.
hips
No.
and how I always liked to shop at Nordstrom.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, oh yeah, my mom likes Nordstrom. She's like, yes, it's great for Black women.
Oh my God.
I said, okay, lady,
Oh.
I'm glad we've bonded over our shared ancestry.
Our shared ancestry?
Oh
Yes,
my God.
our 0.002% overlap that has
Oh God.
come to a point at Nordstrom.
Yeah, enlightened female for real. I'm 1/64th Native American.
Oh yeah, literally.
I'm
Exactly.
Cherokee on my great grandmother's side.
She was a princess.
She was
Yes,
always a
you're always a
princess.
princess.
Always. Never mind that most indigenous societies didn't have royalty. Like,
Right. Or like people who do like past lives, they're always somebody super important.
oh yeah.
I was Anne
Totally.
Boleyn in a past life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Even though like if you believe in past lives and whatever, it's cool, but like the chances of you just being a dirt farmer who died early is pretty high. So,
Right.
just come to terms with it. It's okay.
What?
I bet her
forgot about
says
her.
100%
European.
I I bet in a past life I was like an expert at latrines. I bet I was digging ditches for poop all over Europe.
Girl, we were all digging ditches for poop
Yeah.
back in the day. We're dying of like cholera or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we were all doing
Exactly.
in our past lives.
I know, like every time you think like in a past life or in a past time that you would have been or done something remarkable, it's like no, like
Oh,
you have died of dysentery. Like
you have done, yes, it is just Oregon Trail all the way down in your history. Oh man, oh my God, is fax machine? Is that a bunch of BS or is
no,
he?
it's literally true.
Oh no, really?
Yes.
He can actually say that
Oh
then.
no.
Yeah, there's that show Finding Your Roots where they have celebrities on and the genealogist like does their family history. And quite literally, Edward Norton's like great to the nth degree grandmother was literally Pocahontas.
Wow.
But I mean, so is like 11 million people.
Yeah, right. Once you go that far back, it
Right.
branches exponentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Same with
Yeah,
like when
my
people
God.
are like, "Oh, my family came over on the Mayflower," and it's like, that's really cool, but there's about 35 million people who are
Right.
descendants of that ship.
Right. You know, my
So
grandmother likes to say that our family is descended from former President Grover Cleveland. I
could
have
be.
no idea if this is true at all. But that's what she says. She's like, "Yeah, we're direct descendants." I'm like, "Yeah, but how many people are direct descendants of
Yeah.
a guy who
Like
lived?"
lots. When it's the great times 9, like at some point it just doesn't really matter.
Right, exactly. And I don't know. It's just one of those grandma stories. Like you never know if it's true or not. See, this is
Yeah.
why I need a 23andMe. I need to find out.
Oh, it's the
And
best.
also, I want to find out how much Neanderthal I have in me.
Oh, I'll find mine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's on my Ancestry one or my 23andMe one, but I think it's my 23andMe, and I think I canceled my account because I didn't use it as much. Hold on.
Yeah. Wanda, my mom literally believes that. So, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
A
Descendant of
descendant of
Adam.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the Neanderthal one is on 23andMe, and I deleted that one.
No.
I didn't use it as much, so.
Do you remember if you had any? Did you have
Oh, yeah, I
any?
definitely did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
more
also,
than average.
ooh, that's what I want. I want more than, I want to know, and I want it to be like a high percentage and be like,
I'm
yeah.
going to see if I can log in.
I just need a DNA test that tells me my Hogwarts house.
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't need a DNA test for that. Just go to Pottermore.
Yes.
I don't remember my
Pottermore has
password.
dubbed me Ravenclaw many a time.
You're unhappy with your Ravenclaw identity?
Well, you
Are
have
you
to walk.
questioning?
Okay, well, how would you feel if you had to walk up all those steps and not just to get to your room, and then after you walk up all those steps, you need to solve a riddle to open the door?
I actually saw a funny animated short or whatever about that. This kid, well, it was animated, so right, he animates this boy coming back from drinking, and he's drunk off his ass, and the door's asking him a riddle, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I don't know," and he's just sitting on the stairs, and he ends up falling asleep outside the door, and his friend comes out, and he's like, "You got drunk last night, didn't you?" I thought it was funny because yeah, what are you gonna do if you're like, you just can't figure out the riddle? Sleep outside, I guess.
So what have you been studying all night? Your brain is fried. You can't be clever anymore. Guess you can't go to bed.
Nope.
No, Hufflepuffs have it the best. They're right next to the cafeteria.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my god. There's so many 8,000 steps to log in here. It's like, that's not your password. Okay, reset my password. Okay, now we're going to send you a verification code, even though you just reset your password. Oh.
But
I just want to see my Neanderthal DNA.
I know, right? Come on now.
If I do take the test, though, and I end up being any minuscule percentage Irish, I can get back at my dad because, as I might have said before, one of my first career aspirations was to join the Irish mob. And then my dad said I couldn't because I wasn't Irish.
In your face, Dad. Look at this.
Like, fuck your dreams.
6% Irish.
I don't know how to navigate this.
And I also want to take it to find out like cool genetic stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like they can tell you what you're prone to.
Yep.
Oh,
And
really?
what you're
Yes.
strong against. Yeah. That's so cool to me. Like I want to know all that.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to just like search traits.
I want to be immune to the plague.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
I found it. You have more Neanderthal DNA than 67% of other customers.
Whoa.
Ooh, you have a high ranking of Neanderthal.
So it says, out of the 7,462 variants tested, we found 250 variants in your DNA. Altogether, your Neanderthal ancestry accounts for less than 2% of your DNA. But
I mean,
there you
yeah,
go.
that makes sense, but still.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long ass time since Neanderthals
Yeah.
lived. So yeah, that's really cool. Neanderthal ramblings.
That's me. Yeah, there's so many
A
interesting
Neanderthal princess. She wore a crown of saber-toothed tiger teeth and woolly mammoth gowns. That's right.
Oh my
She
God.
was a princess.
Honestly. Oh, that's jokes.
Does it say what your I know, yeah, I don't know if this would be like sensitive info, but does it say like what you're strong against? That's what I want to know.
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of interesting stuff. Like, where's the traits section? There's like stuff about heart health. Like, let's see what the heart health says. So for hereditary amyloidosis, variants not detected. For familiar hypocholesterolemia, variants not detected. Let me see. There's a whole bunch of, like, there's a bajillion. There's, like, age-related macular degeneration, slightly increased risk. Yeah, like, all kinds of stuff. Parkinson's disease, variants not detected.
Isn't macular degeneration of the eye?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or there's, like, late onset Alzheimer's disease, variant not detected. Things like carrier status, like if you have something that could be passed down to a child. All of mine say variant not detected, so that's nice.
Okay. No hidden genetic time bombs in there.
No.
If you ever wanted to, which, you know.
For like random stuff like the alcohol flush reaction. My test said unlikely to flush. Caffeine consumption, likely to consume more. Big mood.
Ooh.
Lactose intolerant, likely intolerant, etc. Like.
Oh, are you lactose intolerant?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Cilantro taste aversion, high odds of disliking cilantro. Absolutely true.
Oh, you have the soap gene.
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Or like, let's see, asparagus odor detection, likely can smell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can smell it too. Although I still like asparagus.
Wait, is asparagus what?
Some people genetically literally cannot like detect the smell of asparagus, and some people can.
Wow, I didn't know that was a genetic thing though. That's
Yes,
wild
just
because
like
I could always
cilantro.
smell it. And not to be TMI, but you can smell it in your
In the
pee.
pea,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah. Like you know if you've eaten asparagus.
Yeah.
I'm
Or at least
some asparagus up my nose.
There's even shit like finger length ratio. Likely have a longer ring finger than index finger, which I do.
oh, that's interesting.
Yes, it's
Mine are
really
the
neat.
same length. Okay.
Ice cream flavor preference. About a 50-50% chance of preferring vanilla over chocolate, which I do.
Oh, they even have that? Okay, I really need to take this. So
Yeah,
cool.
for the trait stuff, I personally would recommend 23andMe over Ancestry.
Yeah.
Ancestry, I think if you're much more interested in history and genealogy is the way to go. But if you're
Mhm.
only really interested in genetics and DNA, definitely 23andMe is the better choice.
Yeah, I am for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really neat. And because they're constantly like updating their databases, you constantly are getting new traits and reports always.
Huh, that is so cool. Maybe it's time
Yeah.
I actually part with that 200 plus bucks, huh?
If you can find it on a good sale too, like that's
Hmm.
when to do it.
I wonder if the new year will have sales.
I'm sure. Or Black Friday.
Black Friday 23andMe.
Oh my god. I gotta get
Does
one.
it detect blood type? I don't know if mine. I don't think so. What? I don't think I've ever gotten a
Yeah, I think you
blood.
actually have
Oh,
to
wait a
draw
second.
blood for that. Or maybe
Oh,
they don't.
yeah. It's all
Oh,
by spit.
yeah, you have to swab.
I've always wanted to
No,
know my blood
they give
type.
you a little vial that you have to fill with your saliva.
Oh, that's gross. I thought it was a
Yeah, it's
swab.
really gross. It's not a swab,
Ew.
no.
Ew.
You have to sit there and like collect in your mouth and then spit it
Ah,
out and then collect in your mouth because they need a,
Ew.
yeah.
ugh. Okay.
I hope I
Well.
don't need that much for the poop test.
Oh my god. He just hands you like a big paper bag and be like, fill this.
We're gonna take some like chopsticks and shove it all in there.
Oh. Oh my god. Oh geez, irritated woman. Gonna be filling that up for a few days. So gross. Do you guys know your blood type though? I do.
Yeah, I'm O negative.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
like
the universal
yeah.
donor, but I can only receive O negative.
Yeah. O's the most common blood type. What are you, expired milk?
I don't know. I always asked when I was younger because like I had that big military phase and I wanted dog tags.
Yeah.
But no one could tell me what my blood type was. My parents don't know.
If you donate blood, they'll tell you. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, they will definitely.
Yeah.
No, I don't like needles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But who knows? I hear my parents swear they're like, yeah, when you go for your annual physical, they should always be taking your blood. I say that has literally never happened.
They should definitely be doing blood work.
Yeah, they should at least do a CBC. I don't know if they'd check with your blood type though. You probably have to ask them for that, but
Yeah.
they
I
should
just
know.
had a physical 2 weeks ago and I had a full blood panel.
Wow.
Oh yeah. That was kind of interesting because I went to the doctor because I've just been feeling really tired lately. Not like sleepy tired, but like drained tired. And my doctor said it's usually like either a thyroid issue, a sleep issue, or an anemia issue.
Yeah, I was gonna say anemia, but
so he had a whole entire the big one blood work panel done up on me.
Yeah.
And it was nice though because when I went for my results and stuff, he said there was literally nothing at all of note in my blood work at all.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you said you were going to have your sleep study, which is
yeah.
That's good.
So like hormones fine, like iron fine, cholesterol fine, like everything totally.
Good.
Yeah, so that was nice. And I did do my sleep study last Tuesday.
Oh.
Which was horrible. I hated it.
Oh God, yeah, they're never fun.
No, they give you the equipment to take home and you do it at your own house, but you have to hook all the wires up to yourself and tape them to your skin, and you can never get comfortable because you're attached to so many things. It was awful.
Ew.
And then the guy called me to say, like, generally we can see that, yeah, you're definitely waking up throughout the night, but
Um,
they make you come in for an appointment to go over in depth. So I have that next week.
yeah. I was suspecting apnea just because when you're tired for no reason and you know you've
Yeah.
gotten enough sleep, it's like, and your blood work is fine. Because PSA, a lot of women have undiagnosed anemia, right? Because they've got a lot of them have heavy menstrual flow. They lose all that blood. Or undiagnosed things like endometriosis, polyps in the
Right.
uterus, stuff like that. So a lot of women are walking around with like low iron levels. But if that's all fine, then yeah.
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 Yeah, it was all good. So
Oh, I
sleep better.
disagree, Wanda. I hate
Me
sleeping
too.
with people. I'm sorry.
No, thank you. Get
I'm not
away from
cuddly
me.
at all. Like if I'm
Ugh.
trying to sleep, I need to be totally untouched.
Yeah, and I also want the freedom. Well, here's a clue into my sleep issues because I'm a wild sleeper. I want the
Oh
freedom to, like, move around.
yeah. I have a queen, Wanda. I don't move around as much as Radical. I just have I have a weird aversion to like being touched or even like having fabrics on me or anything. I just need to be totally unfettered when I sleep. I don't enjoy having another body there. I know it's not very romantic, but what are you gonna do?
But hey, it can be like the Dick Van Dyke Show where they're
That
married
actually,
but live in two
honestly,
beds.
that kind. If you make the beds a little bigger than like a twin, that sounds like a great idea.
Yes.
Mm. Ooh, this is so off topic, but there's like a local, like, family-owned ice creamery in my city,
Ooh,
and they
cream.
do like handmade ice cream. They make all their ice cream, and they have different flavors that are like super unique. And they just posted their October flavors, and they have one called "Oh My Gourd"
Oh, that's awesome.
and one that apple pumpkin spice ice
Oh,
cream.
that sounds so fucking
I think
good.
I'm gonna go try it tomorrow because
Oh
this is so dangerous. It's next door to where I work.
no.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'd have to resist the temp. I
Yeah, I
love ice
usually
cream.
go and
Oh,
get a scoop on Fridays after work, like Friday treat.
so good.
But I have plans this Friday, so I can't. So maybe I will tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna miss your Friday, then you have to,
Yeah,
right? It's the
apple
law.
pumpkin spice.
I love
Mm.
fall flavors like pumpkin and like apple
Yes.
spice, apple cider. Like I got some apple cider donuts and it's fresh
Mm.
orchard apple. Like everything fall spice related is so good.
My
Oh,
favorite time of year is fall for, like, oh my God, this is so crazy, but
yeah.
all of my money belongs to Bath and Body Works because I buy their candles and their soaps,
Yeah.
and their fall scents go hard.
Yeah, I like their hand soaps
Hmm.
for the bathroom, like their seasonal ones. They're so good. The
Yes,
foaming hand soap.
exactly.
It just
I
makes me
love
feel
them.
so bougie.
I know. There's always like apple orchard or like
Oh,
um
yeah.
fall leaves or like, oh, so
I used
good.
to like buy Yankee candles all the time.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I feel like their quality's gone down like in the last 10, 15 years. But back in the day, I used to be like so into the seasonal things, like
Yes, me
the
too.
Mac apple scent and like the fall leaves, all that stuff. It's like it
Mm,
wasn't a season if you didn't have a candle out.
My
I
sister's
agree.
obsessed with those. Even her room at home would have like scorch marks on the ceiling because she'd be burning so many candles.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Like they have some non-flame alternatives now, but yeah,
Hmm.
I've had the soot mark like on up the wall from a
A
candle.
candle.
Yeah, oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Well, I've never really been a candle buyer. I frequently get excited in Barnes and Noble because they have Death Star candles.
Oh my God.
And every time I'm like, oh my gosh, a Death Star candle, I expect to open it and smell, I don't know, like
I was
metal
gonna
and sweat.
say, what does it smell like?
It like
Is
doesn't.
it
It,
just it's just shaped
yeah.
like it?
It's no, it's not even shaped like a Death Star. It's in
What?
a yeah. It's got a picture of a Death Star on it, and I guess it's supposed to smell like the Death Star, but it most certainly doesn't. It's some basic
Uh,
scent. I
that
said,
sounds
no,
like a
give me
scam.
yeah, I'm like, no, give me a candle that actually smells like the Death Star.
Even if it's just a bullshit scent, like
Yeah, you got to make something up.
just make
Yeah.
something, make it smell like something.
Like there's those candles that smell like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's such a good smell. Yeah.
Yeah, industrial, like I can't eat aldehyde. Someone guest walk in your house and like, what is that smell? It's like a funeral home in here.
But yo, I bet the Death Star smells so bad. You got all those dudes in armor.
Yeah, just like what Wanda said, rank
Yeah.
asshole, because they're all in those suits, sweating,
Yeah,
just
and
marinating.
they don't even have
Ew.
real showers in Star Wars. They have sonic showers. So you just stand there and the sound cleans you off.
Yeah, they have those in Star Trek too, and I always wondered, like, how do they get into the crevices? I'm
Yeah,
just,
who knows?
what about moisture? Like, how do they deal with that?
Oh.
It's magic, sci-fi magic.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they've got space deodorant.
Space deodorant, different than regular earthly deodorant.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe someday I'll buy the Death Star candle just to say that I did.
Yeah, but if it was shaped like the Death Star, you wouldn't want to burn it because then it would ruin it.
Yeah.
So it would just be like a statement piece, really.
Indeed.
Irradiated woman. I also like realistic sea scents too. Not like low tide, but like like Yankee Candle had like an ocean type scent that was very like salty in the under.
Yeah. Where it's like you're like, oh, I'm at the beach.
Right. Yeah. It's super realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Without being like off-putting, like rotting seaweed or whatever. But yeah, it was really nice. It was like, ooh, summertime. I'm at the beach. I'm literally
Living's easy.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite smell is toilet bowl cleaner.
Oh, that's actually a good smell.
It is,
blue
right?
one?
Yes.
I agree.
In fact, I love the smell so much. As kids, when my sister and I'd have to divide up the chores, I'd be like, I'll clean the bathroom. She's like, fine, I hate the bathrooms. I'm like, but the toilet bowl cleaner.
It does smell. I'm trying to think of my favorite cleaner smell.
When I was younger and I worked cleaning a movie theater after hours, I don't know what it was. It was like from a commercial cleaning company that supplied the products, so it wasn't like something you could just buy. But anyway, the bathroom cleaner that we used there, it smelled like Coca-Cola.
Really?
Yeah, it was so weird.
Wait, was it pink by chance?
Maybe.
Because there was this pink cleaner that I've used before commercially, and it smells really good too. But I don't remember it smelling like Coke though.
Yeah, it smelled like straight up Coca-Cola, and I was like, wow.
Huh. You know what I love the smell of? The Dawn dish soap.
Oh,
like
the foamy spray one?
No, just the regular. But
Oh.
I love the one that's blue, like the extra strength one is really good. I was like,
yes, that's good.
Oh. It's so funny. I know the things you love when you get older, but man, I agree. I love that one.
A radiated woman. I love wax melts. I have a ton of wax melts at my house.
Love the smell of the detergent aisle at the supermarket. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so clean.
I love fleecy vanilla fabric softener. Oh, the best.
I like just plain, like classic Downy. It smells so good.
I know. Fresh.
Y'all are making me want to bust out my cleaning supplies.
Right? Oh my goodness. too funny. Oh, I'm getting a little sleepy.
Yeah. I've been kind of tired because I'm coming
Yeah,
down
you
from
just
a
got
trip.
home.
I'm freaking exhausted. I almost fell asleep after I clocked out for work. I was just sitting there like my eyelids were heavy. I'm like, no, I can't sleep. I can't. Otherwise, you won't be able to go to bed.
Yeah,
It's okay though. Got a second wind.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me this evening.
Yes, it was a pleasure. It's been a while.
Thanks for having you gals. Hopefully back at it as normal now, at least once a week, but I'm considering twice a week because I'd like to do like one of these kinds of streams once a week and then another one where we read a feminist essay from the past, like an essay by Dworkin or by Jeffries or by Audre Lorde or whatever.
Yeah, that
So
sounds good.
I can maybe twice a week because I'm not making videos anymore. So, I mean, I will if the mood strikes, but it just hasn't. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
maybe that.
Streams
So,
are fun though.
yeah, I really enjoy getting to talk to all y'all and especially the chat. Like, what would be the point without everyone in the chat? So, thank you, gals, all
Definitely.
for being here.
And Wanda, job interviews are terrible.
Yes.
So, that's the official opinion of me.
Yeah. 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
An argument.
All right. So yeah, probably next stream next week we'll do one of the ones that we didn't do this time around. So I might put up another poll. You could vote in that.
I mean, all those topics were really good.
Mm-hmm.
They were. I kind of think a good follow-up topic to this is the one about why the young men are so religious.
Good point. Yes. Okay. Good idea. Okay. Thank you to everyone in the chat for being here. Thanks, Existential Gamer. Thanks, Expired Milk. Expired Milk you don't really make YouTube content, right?
Nah.
But
I do have a Substack.
Oh, what's your Substack? I'll put that in the link.
I'll send it to you.
Send it to me, yeah. And then y'all can refresh this when it's over so you can get the link to the Substack and Existential Gamer's channel.
Yes, just be forewarned, I'm not the best YouTuber.
That's fine, me neither, clearly.
I also make videos when the mood strikes, and if I don't have anything to say, I just don't,
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See y'all on the flip side.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.